What do you think of when I say academy?
I think of things like education, learning.
Learning, of course, books, a group of people, library.
It's a place of higher learning.
Knowledge and understanding.
Knowledge, knowledge, knowledge.
School of excellence.
Overconfidence.
The word academy has a bit of prestige about it, so it makes me think of a really kind of private school where they study like crazy sciences and stuff that, you know, normal people wouldn't need to know about.
Institution.
It's something kind of big, and it's the big building.
Place where I guess young people, I'm specifically saying young people, I don't know why, I just think of that, young people go.
Of creative minds, but the reason they work and the reason it's academy is because they're somehow organized.
Not a place, it's usually a meeting.
Exclusivity.
An elite collective. I wish I was in one.
16 people all sitting in a circle doing life drawing with easels.
A lot of really old white men.
Greens.
Glasses. Glasses.
Glasses. Academy. ArtSho.
So my inspiration for this year's art show collection was three things, or one thing and two people. The thing was a summer school that was run at the Hayward Gallery here in London last summer, and it was a school that was run by artists. It had a free curriculum, and anyone could show up and the artists would teach whatever they wanted. And I remember thinking as soon as I read about it, that doesn't sound very intellectual. And then I caught myself and I thought, okay, let's think about this a little bit. Artists are usually, in society, they're seen as being the opposite of intellectuals. But thinking about it and actually thinking about my friends who are artists, I realized this isn't true, because artists have to have opinions, and some of the most opinionated people I know are artists. You have to have knowledge to have opinions, and you also have to have passion to be able to express those opinions clearly and consistently, and you know, if you're a professional artist, you know, for your whole life. So I thought about it and I realized that, wow, like, art is about sharing knowledge, and that was a really big piece of inspiration for me. So two friends of mine are both really great artists, but they couldn't be more different. Maya is the first friend that sprung to mind, and Maya is a curator and an educator at the museum, the Metropolitan Museum of Art in New York. And her opinions are very strong, and she's very serious about how art needs to be shared and the way it should be shared if sharing knowledge is the goal. So I spoke with her in New York, and she had lots of advice to give me.
Don't assume that people know the same things or even tangential things to what you know. Different people have entirely different sets of knowledge, and so if you use your work as a place to start a conversation rather than as a place to say, here's what we do and here's how we do it, and starting a conversation you genuinely want an answer that you don't already have to.
And the second person is Salim. And Salim, as I said before, is the total opposite of Maya. He is all about learning and sharing knowledge in a really, really fun way, really, really creative ways. But his method is quite goofy. He likes to use video, and he's all about basically being Sesame Street for adults. So goofy, funny videos with really catchy hooks that stay in your mind and help you to literally remember a subject and remember a piece of information.
Okay, so I walk by this machine every day. I've always wondered how many drinks are in it. Japanese drink machines have crazy amounts of drinks. Today we're going to buy all the drinks in a Japanese drink machine.
One of every drink in a Japanese drink machine. Suntory Iamon green tea, Suntory Iamon dark green tea, Suntory Iamon Hoji tea, Suntory oolong tea. Dakara, Gatorade, water, Pepsi, Mountain Dew, Kita Kita Sparkle, Lucky Cider, Boss, Clear, Presso.
So having been inspired by Maya, by Celine, by the Hayward, I came up with the idea for this collection to be a series of artworks where each artwork represents a subject, and the idea is to share knowledge in the most creative or intuitive way possible. Hopefully that's what we've done, and Art Show 4 is going to be all about an academy that is an alternative and an academy with a difference.
Prep.
Oh, hi! I guess you'd like to see my new project for this year, huh? So, I was inspired by this thing here that I found in our trash heap. It's called the Wimshurst something. I forgot the exact name. Machine. You turn these two wheels against each other, and it makes these big electric sparks. See them? So, that's pretty fun. But it's also really shocky and ouchy, so I have to discharge it. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm making a slightly smaller version of this, and it's, instead of being cranked by a person, it's going to be cranked by little motors. And so you can see these little tabs of metal here. These are similar tabs of metal that I etched onto this piece of plastic. So two of these little motor mechanisms face each other inside of a box. All of the works are built in miniature, and I have electrodes, some cool looking lathe pieces that we're making on our new lathe, and inside of all of this is going to be a little, like a little scene, and hopefully I'll be able to integrate this meteorite that I picked up at a great shop in New York. It's the same place I got the skulls. So that's pretty much the project. There's a lot of undefined parts yet. These things put themselves together, so you'll just have to wait and see.
Hi, my name's Tina Hart, and my work is about philosophy of mind. Philosophy of mind deals with consciousness, or more specifically, how do you explain your conscious experience? Where does it come from? And is it purely just the physical structure in your brain, or is it something more? When I was studying, the idea I liked most was emergent consciousness, which states that your conscious experience is greater than just the physical structure of your brain. This is a really old doodle, more so a doodle than a sketch. It just gave me the idea for the writing across the brain, because the writing refers to both physical structures in the brain and feelings or consciousness to represent the qualia of our experience.
So a quick introduction to the Conservation of Elephants project for Art Show 4. when the theme Academy came out, I could only think about Police Academy for many hours, weeks, months, and so it's a rather tenuous link through academia to the ivory tower, which I always think is sitting around thinking and postulating about things but not doing very much practically, to the ivory tower, and the reference to ivory and reduction of ivory trade and conservation of elephants. It's something that I think that we should all find out about, we should all care about, and we should all do something about. And this piece is my attempt to do that. And it's also after realising that the ivory trade, or finding out the ivory trade is actually increasing, the number of elephants being killed is increasing rapidly in the last few years. It's quite interesting to see that most ivory goes to places like Thailand and China, and at the same time that this is increasing, this illegal trade and this slaughter of elephants to fuel the ivory demand, at the same time that's increasing, there's also increasing Chinese infrastructure and Chinese investment in Africa is also increasing. So it's interesting to explore some of the connections there, and some of the causes of rising personal, disposable income and standard of living, with consequences, particularly in different continents. So that's what I'm going to attempt to do, and that is what I'm looking forward to do.
Hi everyone, Jess here. Welcome to Queens. I'm just going to show you guys where I'll be working, prepping for the artwork that I'm going to make for Art Show. This is my studio / living room. I usually start off with text as inspiration. I tend to like to cut out words and then kind of put them together. Definitely want to use that. So usually if I have letters like this, I'll try to find something to fill in. Maybe will be, my voice. And then I start doing sketches.
What do you think of when I say academy?
Echoing hallways. Echoing hallways!
Old buildings and chalkboards and noisy classrooms and uniforms and prefects and head girls and boys.
I think of Star Trek, Final Frontier, Cutting Edge.
About acting, advertising, animation, architecture, art.
Exploring the unknown.
The arts, performance.
Academy, Academy, Smarty Pants, you're Smarty Pants. Wanna know about things?
I actually think of the Academy Awards, no surprise there.
Mystery, love, passion, betrayal.
Film, beautiful, thought-provoking film.
Dancers, fame.
Speaking in a British accent or some sort of accent.
An old school background, loads of people sitting around, getting a bit pissed off, and deciding to get up and do a little dance.
A place where like-minded people meet.
A place where
a group of people who are operating on perhaps a slightly higher level can get together and really cultivate something that they have in common.
A group of people who maybe all mean something different to each other and are possibly part of a movement, but that movement may not fully know what it is yet.
Digging deep to explain, to tell somebody else what it is that makes you so excited about the thing that you're doing.
We nurture and grow together based on a certain subject and therefore create excellence amongst each other.
Something that is designed to improve yourselves, to better yourself.
Something super structured from outside and super unstructured from inside.
Process.
So the process of managing 30 artists for 3 months is always really tough. You know, I ask myself every single year, why do I do this? And at the end of it, I always think I'm never going to do it again. But this is our 4th round, and I have to say it's our best, in terms of my stress levels anyway, the best that it's ever happened, and we have an amazing group of individuals. But when people are volunteering their time, and when you're asking them to create something meaningful, then you're literally asking them to give of themselves, because art is a very personal thing for at least most of the artists that I work with. It's a very personal, very intimate thing. A challenge that I set myself every year is to learn how to work with artists, to learn how to not manage creativity, but support it and facilitate it and, you know, direct it, help it flourish so that it meets an objective. I hope that the feedback from the artists themselves will be positive. I hope that they've had a really amazing experience, because that's what we aim also with ArtSho, to bring artists together who haven't met before and give them a wonderful experience. And you know, hopefully the work will express that too. And you know, if we're watching this on opening night, hopefully they're there and they'll be able to say how it went for them.
Hey, how's it going? I'm Alex Heitlinger. I'm a trombone player and composer from Austin, Texas. And I've written a bunch of different pieces for ArtSho, and this year I wrote a piece called The Budapest Stomp. It was inspired by a Bartók piano piece, and Bartók, as you probably know, is one of Hungary's most famous composers, and he's also one of my favorite composers. And one of the things that was really cool about Bartók is that in addition to being a composer, he was also an ethnomusicologist. And what that means is he's somebody that studies folk music. Rather than having everything planned out, which classical musicians and classical composers tend to want to do, I prefer to work in a little bit more of an open fashion. I rely on the creativity and the ingenuity of the musicians that I'm working with to come up with better ideas than I could have come up with on my own. So thanks again for having me contribute once again to ArtSho. Wish I could be there, and I hope you have a great time. Cheers.
Hi, I'm Salim. The world can be a pretty disorienting place, and we need art to wake us up and help us remember things. So I make videos that do that. Here's a lo-fi example from a long time ago.
Okay, how to start filling in a blank Middle East map.
Where Baghdad at? Where Baghdad at? Where
Baghdad at Interrobang. Okay, so you're looking at your blank map of the Middle East, and you need a hook. Some strangely shaped country with a really simple name. How about Jordan? Yup, Jordan, with this little extension here, which we'll think of as Michael Jordan's arm. Scribble that in. Maybe imagine him slam dunking all over the Middle East. Now just imagine the country saying, I'm Jordan and I rock because I ran to Afghanistan. Just, imagine he's Jordan and he rocks because he ran to Afghanistan. It's simple, kind of silly, but very easy to remember. Jordan, Iraq, Iran, Afghanistan. Left to right, I'm Jordan and I rock because I ran to Afghanistan. It's a good start on the map. If you want more, let me know and I'll make more videos. Alright, as for Baghdad, you've already got Iraq, so if you just write IRAQ, Baghdad's more or less right here on top of the A. Baghdad. On top of the A. Baghdad. On top of the A. That's just an example. I'm excited to see all the new ways you mix creativity and teaching and new ways of saying things.
Baghdad?